Good. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public forum for Leeton Shire Council for July 2026 Ordinary Council meeting. Thank you. As a reminder to those in the gallery, speakers are allocated up to 3 minutes for your address, Council. Please be aware that this public forum is being live streamed via Council's social media channels and is linked available on Council's website. I would like to invite members of the Roxy Advisory Committee, Ms Erin Draper and Ms Maryann Iannelli, to come forward to the lectern and address the Council. Where you go.
Good to go. Oh, I can just see the top of my head. Thank you. Mr Mayor and Councillors, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. As an inaugural member... Oh, no, it doesn't have to be. You're too kind. You'll pay for that later. As I was about to say, as an inaugural member of the Roxy Redevelopment Committee and now co-chair of the Roxy Advisory Committee, firstly, I'd like to acknowledge and say a sincere thank you to the Council for its ongoing commitment and support of our majestic Roxy Theatre. The redevelopment has at times been a challenging journey, but it has also been an incredibly rewarding one. Together, Council, our community and countless supporters have transformed an important heritage building into a vibrant cultural asset that we can truly be proud of. Today, Council is being asked to consider 6 recommendations from the Roxy Advisory Committee. I'd like to brief you and give some context to recommendation 4. When the original Redevelopment Committee was established over 6 years ago, we made a commitment to Council that we would fundraise to enable upstairs theatre seating to be fully refurbished. Since then, Council has been remarkably successful in securing grant funding that has, in principle, met those costs. We believe that now presents an exciting opportunity. Rather than simply concluding that fundraising commitment, we can now invite our community to become part of the Roxy story by creating a lasting legacy for families, individuals and businesses who wish to support this iconic theatre. Our recommendation is that the funds raised through this initiative establish a Roxy Performing Arts program, providing grants to eligible local organisations to support local performances, encourage emerging talent and help to ensure that the Roxy remains a vibrant centre for the performing arts for generations to come. The Roxy has always been more than bricks and mortar. It is where our community gathers, celebrates, learns and is inspired. This recommendation allows this recommendation allows people not only to leave their mark on the theatre, but also to invest in the future for local performing arts in our region. I'd now like to invite Maryann to outline the recommendation in more detail.
Thank you, Erin. Good afternoon, Mayor Weston and councillors. On behalf of the Roxy Advisory Committee, the Fundraising Committee, I'd like to introduce the concept behind our proposed Leave Your Legacy, Name a Seat campaign. The campaign is designed to give community members, families, businesses and organisations the opportunity to become a permanent part of the Roxy Community Theatre future by purchasing a symbolic naming rights to a theatre seat. While their name will be permanently recognised on a seat through the engraved plaque, it does not provide ownership or reverse the use of that seat. Instead, it is a lasting acknowledgement of their contribution to the future of the Roxy and the local performing arts. More than simply recognising a name on a plaque, this initiative is about creating a lasting connection between community and the Roxy. Every named seat represents a personal legacy while also contributing to the future of the local performing arts. Funds raised through the campaign will also establish the Leeton Performing Arts Grant Fund, as mentioned by Erin, to be administered by the Leeton Shire Council in accordance with Council's grant guidelines. The purpose of the fund is to provide ongoing financial support for community performing arts productions staged at the Roxy. Local organisations will be able to apply for grants to help offset production costs, making it easier to deliver performances that not only enrich our cultural life, but also create fundraising opportunities for local organisations. The campaign has 4 key objectives: to create a lasting legacy for supporters of the Roxy, to establish a sustained funding source for community performing arts, to strengthen community ownership and pride in their theatre, to encourage greater participation and use of the Roxy by local community groups. The concept is straightforward. Supporters purchase the naming rights to a seat, selecting from a range of seating tiers. Each seat is fitted with a personally and professionally designed plaque engraved acknowledging the purchaser or the persons they wish to honour. Their contribution continues to give back through the Performing Arts Grant Fund for years to come. Importantly, naming a seat is a symbolic recognition of their contribution and does not provide ownership of or reserved access to that seat for performances or ticketed events. All seats will be continued to be available for public ticket sales and allocated through the Roxy's normal ticketing processes. The campaign aligns strongly with Roxy's vision as a community theatre. It celebrates those who have supported the venue while investing in the next generation of local performance, productions and community events. In essence, it transforms a one-time contribution to an enduring legacy, one that is remembered every time someone takes a seat and every time a local production is brought to life because of that support. Thank you, and Erin and I welcome questions.
Yes. Thank you, Maryann. Thank you, Erin. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing, being great members of the community. Councillors, any questions, please? Councillor Tynan.
Just one, Mr. Mayor. I'm through the Mayor to Maryann. $30,000 is a very large community grant. I was just wondering, how did you get to that 30,000 number?
30,000?
Yeah, no. It says the large Roxy community grant up from 3,000 up to 30,000. Sorry. The large community Roxy grant is valid from 3,000 up to 30,000.
I'll refer that to also our General Manager, Jackie, but...
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
General Manager.
In answering a question, so if Councillor Tynan, if you're meaning the quantum of money seems to be large for a major grant, is that what you're saying? Because the idea is to raise at least $300,000 and then distribute on average $30,000 per annum. But the thing is, it's been proposed that there should be some flexibility because if a very major event was to be run in town, a bit like our gala spectacular where we opened the Roxy Theatre, and that kind of an event easily costs $30,000, more than that, in fact. So if I've understood the question correctly, otherwise can you reframe it? I'll try again.
Usual community grants might be a couple of $1,000s. And
Yes.
This one for the large Roxy community grant goes from 3,000 to 30,000.
Correct.
I understand that large functions require large dollars.
Yes.
I'm just interested in the fact that it's a community grant at $30,000. It was just really more a
Yes.
query.
So,
that's all.
and it's purely to cover the cost of running major community events such as a gala spectacular, bringing back. Doesn't have to be bringing back. It could be a show that puts on a whole variety of things for local talent. It could be a specific concert. There've been lots of ideas mooted, but a major event costs well in excess of $30,000.
Thank you, General Manager. Any more questions from councillors to Maryann and Erin? Did you have a light on there, Councillor Morris? Did you?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. No, I'd just like to acknowledge our volunteers from our community who've put so much effort into in our Roxy and been there from the beginning. So, again, thank you. And I know there's many others behind them, but thank you to their efforts to get us this far.
If we can refrain to just asking questions, please, of the speakers.
Councillor Mayor, could I just add to
Sorry,
the question and perhaps also refer councillors to the wording of the recommendation, which is requesting that tonight that you give us perhaps in principle support to pursue this idea rather than just signing off on it now. That's a big ask because it's a new and it's a very bold I think prospect for the Roxy. I'd be remiss in not saying how excited I am about it because I can see the multiplier effect of this. I mean, giving money is great, but giving people the means of being able to develop their skills is even better, I think, and that's fundamentally, I think, what's behind what we're trying to do with this suggestion. So it's in principle support and details will be forthcoming should the council tonight agree to giving us, I guess, the green light to pursue this further, and we would be open to any suggestions that how they think it could make.
Thank you. Councillor Wright.
I was at the last Roxy Advisory Committee and I thought it was very good. I know that at the RAC it was discussed the concept of operating the fund more like in the structure of an endowment where it endeavoured to maintain its amount of money and disperse the interest or new money that it was able to raise over time. Does that concept still is that still something that the committee's advising? Because I feel like $30,000 that's going to reduce it by 10% each year, and I just don't see that lasting.
You go.
I can answer that, Councillor. I think at this point in time we have to remember it's a concept, and we haven't delved down into the details of stuff like that. But it's something to consider, and I think if we do move forward with the permission of council, then I think that's something that we could definitely consider.
I think it'd be wonderful if we actually could continue to raise funds in this manner so that we can continue to have this grant project operating in another 50 years' time even.
Yeah, that's why I was sort of asking, because I'd love to. It's great to be able to offer someone $30,000 1 year, but $10,000 a year for 30 years is much better.
Also, not everyone's going to apply for $30,000. That's something to consider as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. Remember, we're asking questions of the speakers to help us with our deliberations later on when we talk about that particular report. Is there any more questions, Councillor Kidd?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Thank you, ladies, for the presentation. That was lovely. I know that this, after reading the business papers, that this is designed to support a number of different sorts of community endeavours and foster the arts and participation within the community. Can you give me an outline of how that will be Leeton focused and how we will ensure that? Thank you.
Councillor Kidd, the concept is to go through council's grant guidelines. So that is another vetting process to ensure that this is coming from a local organisation with local participants, and the funds are going to be utilised for performances at the Roxy. So I think there's a lot of scope there that it is controlled internally by council by those guidelines. So I think that we would ensure that it's a local organisation and performance.
Councillor Wright, thank you. Question?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And this may, through you, Mr. Mayor, this may be for the committee members or it may be for the general manager. I'm not sure. So I apologise if I'm misdirecting it. But I noticed that there's an amount for $45,000. This is more broadly about the Roxy, but it was in the papers. For refurbishment, reupholstering of the historic seating. It was said a few years ago that originally this fundraising was going to be for repairing those chairs. It did say, though, in the papers this today that this for this meeting that $45,000 was going to be sought from other sources, from regional grants. So is there a reason why that fundraising isn't also happening? Is there a reason why it's been brought out of that, conceptually brought out of that original $300,000 amount?
I think, once again, if I can just reiterate, this is a concept proposal and there's still a lot of tweaking and advice to be taken on. But if we can see the success that the council has had in getting grants, I think that at the Roxy Advisory Committee discussions, we saw that as a potential opportunity to still continue to be do what we said we were going to do in terms of fundraise. We're just simply asking now that rather than that fundraising be used as a means of perhaps covering chairs and whatnot, that you consider the prospect of being able to value add to our community by a grants program which will continue to develop, as we've said, performing arts in the area.
And do you think that in terms of the fundraising for the $300,000 goal, do you think people will be more willing, more excited about donating for that purpose as opposed to a one-off upholstering of chairs?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think that is
Yes, you can.
part of what we were thinking, that there's been a lot in the papers about the success of grants for the Roxy, which is just, mind-blowing and very exciting. And so if we were to go back out to the community and say, look, we, as a Roxy committee, would like to raise some funds, the immediate question could be, but why? I thought, the grants had already covered that. Yeah. So we didn't want to be seen to be robbing Peter to pay for something that we didn't. This is, to me, it's a new opportunity that has been presented because of the excellent work that's been done in getting those grants, so that we have been able to fully finish off the Roxy to its original dream of the seating, the lighting and the works. So, yeah, it's an opportunity, and it's one that I would really encourage Councillor to consider most earnestly tonight when they deliberate on whether you would like us to pursue it any further.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. Any more questions of our two speakers? If not, thank you very much, Erin and Maryann. And thank you for the other members of the Roxy Advisory Committee or any connection with the Roxy. Well done, everybody. Thank you for all your work and hard work, and you're welcome to stay if you like to. Now I might move on to our next guest our speaker, is Alison Cowell. Alison, you'd like to come forward, please, and give your address to the councillors, and then we'll ask some questions of you afterwards.
Yep.
Thank you. Where we go.
Okay. Well, I thank you for giving me the time to speak on item 7.1. All these renewables use highly damaging chemicals and metals. Cadmium, for instance, I won't read out the lists of those. Although authorities claim these chemicals do not bleach into soil or waterways while the infrastructure is intact, what happens to them at the end of life? As Australia has not yet got the capacity or knowledge to disposed correctly. It shouldn't be solely be the responsible of the landowner. Ratepayers nor councils have the capacity to pay for the wherefore to store or transport the waste. As we are aware, we are not even in the renewable zone, power zone. We cannot place it in our landfill, especially when our dump zone is situated in a floodplain. This past summer and well into the autumn, there was a significant platypus sighting in the Gudgel Creek and irrigation area when a number of them was observed and documented by one of our members, reported to authorities and which was published. A very rare sighting indeed for this area, as they are not known to be this far down the Murrumbidgee. All these chemicals are a danger to platypus and interfere with their food source and affecting their organs, according to the APC, which is the Australian Platypus Conservancy. Once the water and soil is contaminated, even by a little, all the plants, whether it's trees, fruit crops, or other, take up the water, which we then can say goodbye to our food, grain, exports and wildlife. It hasn't helped with the head of the Murray-Darling Authority person not putting farming and agriculture into the mix. The company has not kept with the guidelines given by the government. There was no wide community consultation as in any of the so-called proposals within our council according to the guidelines. These proposals is on, this particular proposal was on irrigatable land, which, as it was a potato farm once. Most of the reports done by the company for the proposal have used out-of-date data. Planning panels have been given out-of-date information regarding road service and surrounding use. There's a feedlot. There is other crops that export domestic stuff. They have grown it for years. There's groundwater underneath it, which is fresh, and the surrounding farms. And one of our members has wanted to drive a bore and
Thank you,
so forth.
Alison. Thank you, Alison.
And our climate is getting drier.
Yeah.
As well as trees, we cannot eat or breathe renewables. So in conclusion, we agree that you demonstrate, and we've now heard that there's one for River Road, which is too close to waterways, and we can't really endanger
Thank you. Thank you, Alison, for your address to council. Any of the councillors have any questions of Alison? Thank you, Alison, for your concerns. There's a bit there you just gave us. We'll take it on information. Yep. And I've got Councillor Wright.
Yes, thank you for your passion. I know that a lot of us feel similarly about the impact that these developments could have on the sustainability of our agriculture. Have you mentioned out-of-date data? Have you been able to, has the Ratepayers Association been able to contact the panel or any of the companies involved to seek a response from them?
Yes. Yes, we have. I've contacted the people who that I had about the renewables in the very first place, and told them what was going on. And now we've had the sighting of the platypus. It's very endangered, and really soon we didn't even know we had them in this area, part of the Murrumbidgee anyway. Did
you get any response from them?
Response from?
From the company from the renewables development company?
Yes. I haven't got from the actual company, but I have heard back from the authority that were telling us about renewables that were coming and stuff. Yes.
Is it a government authority? Or?
Pardon?
Is it a government authority?
Yes.
Do you remember which one it was? Or
It's Energy Co. is is the lot that's overseeing the whole box and dice.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Councillor Wright, Councillor Tyler.
Now, through the matter, Alison, you refer to the Mayor's letter. I'm just wondering if what you're suggesting or you're advocating that dryland farm areas be included in the Mayor's letters along with considerations for the irrigated farmland as well.
Pardon?
So in the Mayor's letter, it's a lot about water
Yes.
being displaced from the land.
Yes.
I know that dryland farms also contribute to the economic output of the river in a food bowl.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if your statements here would be advocating for the Mayor to maybe include some consideration of dryland farms in the upcoming motion.
Right. Okay. Well, what information is at the water with the landfill record?
I just have it quick, everybody. We're asking
not
questions
the
of
landfill,
Alison with her delivery tonight.
Yeah.
What's the question, Councillor Tynan?
The way the water flows
No.
from north to south, it's following the creek, which is that side. Then you've got the drainage and all the irrigation going to the river, the other side, and it doesn't just stop at that little block of land and sort of say, oh well, we're underground water. Well, we can't go underneath that one. We've got to go round. It doesn't do that. It would flow underneath that one as well, and it's all flooded with water.
Yeah, I know
And it's fresh water.
Alison, for sure. Yeah, I understand what we talked about. You took a question,
Yeah,
Councillor
so
Tynan.
Alison, you mentioned the chemicals that are associated with renewable energy technology, possibly degrading over time and getting into groundwater and flowing through the water, which would cause damage to the platypus, etc. So I'm wondering, given that you've linked environment to renewable technologies, and I'm wondering, because some of those things about the batteries and that sort of stuff, they might also be put on dryland farms. I know that dryland farms contribute significantly to the economic output of Leeton and the Riverina region.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, because you mentioned the Mayor's item 7, if you're advocating and suggesting that we should extend the contents of the letter to maybe include dry area farms as well as the irrigated area farms.
Well, that can't possibly be dry area farming. It has to be irrigated farming out that way because you've got all that water underneath. Where's that water coming from? It isn't just irrigated water.
All right.
It's obviously fresh groundwater.
Thank you, Alison. Any more questions of Alison? No. Thank you for coming today and giving your concerns. We certainly take it on board, the concerns. Where we can verify all the information you said, we just got to take it on
Yes.
face value. But thank you. We are very concerned about our Shire. So thank you very much, everybody. That's
Okay,
great.
thank you.
So no more questions. That concludes our public forum. At 6:30, we'll reconvene and we'll do our proper council meeting at 6:30. But Gallery, thank you very much for coming and thank you for your concerns and your All right, I'll give you the nod and away we go. Good. Good evening, everyone. I now call the ordinary meeting for July 2026 council meeting of Leeton Shire Council at 6:34. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the councillors, staff, community members in attendance this evening and those watching online. Please stand while Councillor Morris leads us in the civic prayer, followed by Councillor Kidd with the acknowledgement country.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen.
Leeton Shire Council acknowledges the Wiradjuri people and their continued impact on our community. We acknowledge their connection to the land, water and sky. We acknowledge all Aboriginal people who have made Leeton Shire their home, and as such we pay our respects to all Aboriginal elders, past, present and emerging of our Shire.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. General Manager, are there any apologies of councillors attending the meeting via video conference tonight?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. All councillors are in attendance this evening and we have a request from Councillor Tiffin to be online this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. So, do we have a move and a seconder for Councillor Tiffin being online? Moved by Councillor Mayton, followed by Councillor Kidd. Any discussion? All in favour? I declare it as declared motion is carried. Moving on to confirmation of minutes arising, the recommendation is in front of you that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on Monday the 29th of June 2026 as circulated will be taken as read and confirmed. Do we have a move and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Wright, seconded by Councillor Kidd. Any discussion? Those in favour say aye. Put the motion. Those against? I declare it carried. Thank you. Procedural motion. There are no procedural motions this evening. Therefore, councillors, are there any disclosure of interest this evening? Reminded to please stand when declaring any disclosure of interest. Councillor Nardi.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, I'm declaring a interest on a pecuniary conflict of interest on the agenda item 4.3, which is the Lap It Up Leeton Committee. I've joined the committee this year and I assisted in writing the application for this year's event to council. So I'm on the papers and I believe that it should be fair that I declare the pecuniary conflict of interest and leave the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nardi. Thank you. Right, moving on then. Mayor, a minute. There's a minute for the buybacks and the solar farms. I'd recommend that my motion is in front of you. I don't need a seconder, but I'd put it to my fellow councillors. I'd like any discussion. Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I would just like to make a comment, if that's okay. Thank you again, Mr Mayor. I've asked to pass comment on this Mayoral minutes, and I'd like to thank the Mayor and the council staff on their continued advocacy regarding council concerns with solar farms being built on prime agricultural land. But again, I would like to raise concerns that other so-called renewable projects with questionable impacts on our community and on being built on prime agricultural land have not warranted the same advocacy or pushback, particularly battery energy storage systems. To borrow a quote that I have often heard from councillors here, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. I would also like to take the opportunity to raise my concerns about the potential of AI data centres. Now, I know this is not directly relevant to the solar farms, but they will be built in our regions to come. This is due to access to water. These environmental and human disasters should also be watched carefully, and I would like to signal to you, Mr Mayor and fellow councillors, that I would like to work with the council to explore how we respond to such centres if proposals are eventually made to build them here. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Councillor Tynan, red light. Then the next red light will be Councillor Right, then Councillor, up there. Councillor Tyne, you go first.
Mr Mayor, just following on from the talk by Ms Cowell, I'd just like to make a comment to maybe consider the inclusion in some way of dry area farms as they contribute to the economic output of Leeton. I understand that the primary concern is to do with water and the movement of water off irrigable land to place solar panels on, whatever. But I just think it would be fair to maybe include in these discussions that you're proposing the restriction or whatever of their on farmland, dry area farmland, that does significantly contribute to the economic output of the community.
I certainly agree with you, but we just want to pinpoint this one in regard to solar irrigation. But thank you. I take your point. Yeah, good. Thank you. Councillor Wright, and then Councillor Tiffin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to thank the community members who've supported and added their contribution to this discussion. I'd also like to thank the Mayor for his leadership and the other councillors who are heavily involved in advocacy at higher levels of government. To put it for the community in general watching, my feeling and my thoughts about this matter, if I can be indulged, Mr. Mayor, to make a comment, are that the authorities responsible who have the responsibility of approving or denying these projects do not either have the knowledge, or they do not have the motivation to value the MIA and its irrigation system sufficiently. I do think that there is a balance has to be struck, because individual landholders and farmers do have an interest in their financial interest to pursue. And whether we're talking about, it is different to talk about irrigable land versus dry land, and then of course marginal land or pasture beyond that. All those types of lands are in our shire, but I think that there is a social contract that when you have a massive public investment and maintenance of a system for 100 years to create intensive agriculture for the purposes of food production, you can't just view things only in the moment, only in terms of this year's budget, this year's financial situation, and this year's priorities. This is a long-term project, and we all know that. Higher levels of government need to start to acknowledge that. And in general, solar panel farms I support. We have an enormous continent full of unusable land. Why are we putting it on prime irrigation land? Purely because it's convenient for one company, one time, or two companies this year or next year or last year, because they don't have to build as much infrastructure to connect to the grid. You put those concrete pads that those panels sit on, the structures that support those panels sit on concrete pads, like a concrete slab for a house. Nobody is going to dig that up and remove it in 25 years. There is no plan for returning this land to farmland. Every one of these construction projects is going to permanently change that land to never be able to be farmed on again. And I don't accept hypothetical, farming, grazing underneath panels or whatever that kind of fanciful things are. They're not proven, and it's not relevant to high intensity irrigation anyway. So I really support your memo minute and your letter, and I really think that we need for the authorities to start to understand the value of what we have here.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. Councillor Morris, I think Councillor Tiffin, I'm not too sure who came first. Councillor Tiffin, you go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I also would like to thank you for preparing this minute. I think it's very important. I think it raises really important issues. I concur with what Councillor Wright said. I also concur with what Councillor Edwards said about data centres. I think they're going to be our next big threat across the whole country and relating to water and access to water. And I just had two thoughts that I would like to request that we add to the list of politicians that we're going to lobby, that you consider adding the defence ministers, the federal defence ministers, and the state defence ministers, because food security is national security, and I think it's an opportunity to raise that issue to the forefront and get some traction. And the other thing is whether we could sort of explicitly link the reasons why individual farmers might be inclined to be attracted to, agreeing to have solar on their properties, because it relates to the cost of water buybacks and, the economic difficulties of farming at the moment. So whether we would like to add a paragraph about that in there as well, just to sort of tie it all together. But yes, thank you for all the work on this, and it's a very important issue.
Thank you. We all got 5 minutes. Councillor's got 5 minutes to talk, discussion. Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for escalating this matter. As you know, you and I have spent a lot of time in the last few months being heavily involved in this. We just want to reiterate, Leeton Shire Council is open for economic business. It's just our Zone 3 is classed as highly irrigatable agricultural prime land in the whole of New South Wales, and it's the targeted land that we have concern about, that we're taking out of action. We have had some progress in being able to, just to clarify for Councillor Wright, in our last matter, that delivery entitlements are to stay with the parcel of land where it has gone to any kind of renewable energy. So at some stage in the future, whatever the term of the contract is, whether it's 25 or 30 years in decommissioning, we've tried to stipulate and get some leverage in amendments to DA conditions that they are part of the land. So I see that as a positive. We weren't successful in the first one, but this of later we have been, and we have still been two sole people on the panel that have unfortunately refused the DAs, but we've been outnumbered by Department of Regional Planning, which is a New South Wales government department. So we need to escalate this so that it does become aware with all these government departments to set the legislation in order. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Thank you for your support, councillors. As we say, we're not against solar farms as per se. We're worried about the cumulative effect of the loss of irrigatable land, and that's what we want to try to get across to the government and those departments, and also the wider Australian community. We're going to lose skills, we're going to lose value-added opportunity, and we need to do something, so we're going to write letters, and thank you very much to everybody. And so I'll put the motion. All in favour? Aye. I do get it carried. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to general matter, reports to council, general managers matters. Item 8.1.1 on page 13, meeting notes from the Roxy Advisory Committee held on the 19th of May, 2006, and the 7th of July, 2026. There is a recommendation put forward to us on our report tonight. If anybody would like to move Councillor Kidd, second by Councillor Morris. Any discussion? Councillor Wright, Councillor Tom.
Mr. Mayor, through the GM, I'd like to make an amendment to point 3, if I may.
And what is the amendment?
So it's up there. It endorses the proposed three-way Roxy community collaboration framework between Leeton Shire Council, the Roxy Institute of Performing Arts and the Ripper Dream and the Dream Team for ongoing development and implementation, which will require attachment 4 to be updated to replace the word partnership with collaboration and provide clarification that collaboration does not assume financial support.
I'll ask the mover and seconder of the motion. Are you happy to accept that amendment?
I am happy to accept that, Mr Mayor, but I consider it being merely semantics. I think it's quite well outlined in the business papers. Thank you.
Councillor Morris? You seconded the motion?
No,
Didn't you?
no.
Oh.
No, you seconded the original motion.
Oh, the original one.
Yeah. When there's amendment, I've got to ask the mover and the seconder if they're happy with the amendment. If you're both happy, we'll just include it, and then we move that on. That becomes the motion.
Sorry, thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I probably would like some more clarification why we need to. I was quite happy with the recommendation as it was in the papers, and to me, it's just play on words at the moment. So I guess just really understanding the intention behind it.
Well, it's a question through me to Councillor Tynan.
Yes, please.
Councillor Tynan.
Yeah, when I read it, I wasn't quite sure of the meaning of the word partnership. And there was a lack of clarity in there about the roles and responsibilities. I understand that it is still a work in progress, but the word partnership kind of implies in the general mind that there's an obligation between the two entities. So I just thought that the word collaboration is more fitting for a community organisation, and that if the word collaboration was spelt out clearly to the community, they would be happy with what's going on with Ripper and Roxy and the Dream Team. It's simple as that.
Thank you, Councillor Tynan. So, Councillor, the mover and the seconder, are you happy with that explanation from the amendment?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Can I direct a question just to the General Manager, I guess? Because at some stage in the future, I see a three-way partnership, collaboration, whatever we're going to call it, an agreement will be met. Is that going to have any inference on the words in agreement a council has with the Roxy, the Ripper organisation and the Dream Team? I just don't want to do anything to hinder, which I found was a perfectly acceptable recommendation.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As Councillor Kidd and Councillor Morris has alluded to, the term partnership was never intended to be a monetary relationship or that kind of commercial relationship. However, the word collaboration, for those people that don't feel comfortable that partnership makes it abundantly clear that council is not funding those other two partners, the word collaboration effectively achieves the same outcome. So I don't think that at the end of the day it will change the intent of what was originally a partnership, can just be rebranded a collaboration.
Thank you, General Manager. To the mover and the seconder, is that clarifies we're just discussing whether
Yes.
the amendment can be added to
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that because I assume at some stage in the future an agreement, some kind of semi-formal or formal agreement needs to be made with council with those other parties. So I'm happy to second that. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Right, thank you, councillors. So what we've got an amendment motion in front of us. We've had a move and a second. We're happy to have that part changed. So all people in favour of the motion as it is, say aye. Those against? I declare it carried. Well done, everybody. That's good work done. Thank you very much. And we're going to move on to... Just lost my place. Gallery, by the way, that was passed with that amendment in it. So good work, everybody out there. And moving on will be fantastic. Right, we're going to move on to 8.1.2, Council Policy Review, July 2026, Draft Disability Inclusion, Access Advisory Committee Terms of Reference, page 49. Now, there is a recommendation in front of us, and also I might just draw you point 2 of the recommendation. You are looking for 2 councillors to go on to this particular committee. But first of all, is there somebody prepared to move the recommendation? Councillor Edwards, followed by councillor Kidd. Now, that's in point 1.2. I'll just get some clarification from the General Manager.
Mr. Mayor, I think it would be probably a good idea to deal with point 1 and get that carried, and then ask for nominations from the floor for point 2.
All right, fellow councillors.
The question, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
Point of clarification. I note that the meetings would be quarterly. Do we have any idea what time of day that would be? Thank you.
Through Mr. Mayor, it would probably depend to some extent on whoever are the members of that particular committee, but I think the desire would be to have it during the working day if possible. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, councillor, are you happy to... Oh, councillor
Sorry,
Edwards.
just a point of
Question.
clarification.
Yes.
Sorry, councillor Kidd. Just in regards, so do you have to ask if we agree with just moving the motion with just number 1 first? Yeah.
I said we moved the motion point 1 and point 2, but we haven't
now
got
we're
any names in
amending the
point
motion
2.
to not discuss point just yet.
Yeah, my advice from the General Manager is that if we just move point 1 and then we can debate who can go on to the committee point 2.
Just want to make sure that
That's okay.
it's all about forward.
So when I say we're going to move a motion, we're only the point 1 of the motion we're going to move.
But the motion was already put by councillor Kidd,
That's right.
myself and councillor Kidd, so
Yeah,
we're going to have to
so
ask if it's okay to
It is
amend
passed.
the motion.
If the council would like you to ask them if they agree to removing point 2.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
I think we need to be following the rules.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much. We will do that. So we just move a motion, point 1 and point 2. Councillors are happy to remove point 2 of the motion.
Yes, to
Yes,
discuss
good.
later, yes.
Right, right. And then we move into second. Who was the seconder for that? Councillor Kidd. Good. All right. So we'll move to point 1 by itself. Those in favour of point 1, say aye. Those against? I don't get it carried. Now, point 2, we're going to appoint 2 councillors to the committee. Do you have any people's nominations or hands or what's the word? An interest in this committee, Councillor?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate...
These are questions, are they?
No, it's, I'd like to nominate councillor Edwards. He has a legal background, and I think this would be a good match.
Right. I suppose it's up to Councillor... It's supposed up to Councillor Edwards what you want to do.
I accept your nomination, councillor Tynan.
Yeah, I don't think we actually nominate anybody. It's the case. We've got 9 councillors. Maybe I can put who's interested in going on the committee. 1. All right. 2. Who's the second one? All right, good. Well, we've got 2 people who are interested. I think we're happy.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I may say something.
Yeah, sure.
Diversity and inclusion is my portfolio, and I do take it very seriously, but I can't meet the demands of a meeting that might be carried out during the working day, during business hours, but I will endeavour to come as an observer when I can.
Well, thank you for that comment. So I think I've got Councillor Edwards and Councillor Mayton. Councillor, you want to say something? Yeah.
Look, I'm definitely interested in being involved, but it will depend on the time of the day. Obviously, I've got my full-time job and I'll need to check that I can leave for that meeting. So I'm reluctant to say that I definitely can until I get that approval and check when, it was a quarterly meeting. So it's probably okay, but there will be times of year it might be a bit harder.
Can I suggest that we normally have an alternate delegate who can maybe take the place of somebody? Yeah. So can we have an alternate delegate?
I'm very happy to put down as one of the alternates if I'm available.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've got consensus here. Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you. So I'm going to move point 2, that we did the councillors are Councillor Edwards and Councillor Maiden, with an alternate Councillor Wright. Those in favour, say aye. Those against? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Right, moving on to investment reports on page 55, is item 8.2.1. There's a recommendation put forward by the staff, and that the council notes the information contained in investment report 2026. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Kidd, councillor by Councillor Edwards. Any discussion? Discussion?
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Just to acknowledge that this is an incredible performance put together by our financial staff, and we've exceeded all benchmarks, and every dollar that we exceed the benchmarks by reduces the burden on ratepayers. So fantastic effort to everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. It was Councillor Edwards, you seconded, didn't you, Councillor Edwards? Yes, right. It was moved by Councillor Kidd, seconded by Councillor Edwards. We're a bit too quick for the scribes tonight. Scribes are okay, right? Good, right, yeah. So we're just moving on from corporate matters, which on to now on page 8.3, operation matters. Leeton Golf Club update, item 8.
We haven't finished the investment.
Have I not? Oh, sorry.
Councillors talking, sorry.
Oh, through you, Mr.
sorry,
Mayor, I was
sorry.
just going to note that we hadn't gotten through the item before.
Point of order.
Yeah, point of order.
Point of order. Sorry. I'm trying so hard tonight. All right, good. So we've had a mover and a seconder. We've had a comment from the mover. Any discussion on the investment report? No discussion on investment? I put the motion. Those in favour, I say aye. Those against, I declare it carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to operation matters, item 8.3.1, Leeton Golf Course update, 1st July 2025 to June 2026, on page 67. There's a recommendation in front of you there, put forward by the staff. Do I have a move and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Morris, seconded by Councillor Kidd. Any discussion? Councillor Tynan.
Mr. Mayor, just have a quick question through the Mayor to the GM. On page 68, at the bottom of that, it says, this is an achievement and is particularly noteworthy. It is the first year in which irrigation water consumption has been fully recognised and accounted. Does that mean that previous years the water hasn't been included in the financial statement?
General Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my understanding that the town water supply was included in the statement, but the watering of the grass wasn't. So the grass, the golf course greens and fairways wasn't, but it has been this year.
Okay, Councillor Tynan. Yep, good. That's a clarification of information. So any more discussion? Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Really, it was just a comment to say a great achievement, I think, for the year, and it's great to see the impact that the golf clubhouse is actually appearing to have on the course, and let's see it continue, which is great. So thank you. Very positive story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add, Councillor Nardi.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Here, I agree with Councillor Madam as well. Good to see the numbers of the competition rounds and the social rounds have increased. So I do agree. I think that the golf club and them gaining some more members has definitely helped. Duly noted also on page 68 that the golf course definitely recorded an operating profit of 1,356, which is not too bad. I think this is the first time we've seen that in a little while. So I just want to congratulate not only the golf club members and committee, but also the Wade Hotel, who are doing a marvellous job running it and trying to include other people to come to the club, not just to play golf. So congratulations, and the report was fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nardi. Councillor Morris, you've got your red light on, but I think Councillor Kidd wants to say.
I was just, Mr. Mayor, I was just going to indulge you for a moment, and I overlooked saying it again. congratulations to the wonderful volunteers who help with another organisation in our town, which is great to hear and see people in action, and it has a great result. So thank you.
Councillor Kidd.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Wonderful financials. As Councillor Nardi alluded to, an increase of 1,200 rounds, and that's with only about half a year of the new clubhouse. The contribution of volunteers is fantastic, and that stands to test the quality of the model that we put forward to the community from council and what we expected from the golf club many years ago. And to keep that going for that long and get that positive cash return is amazing. Mr Mayor, you and I have been on this journey for a long time, and it just goes to show that if we work with our community, if we manage things the proper way and we support those organisations so that they can support themselves, you will get great outcomes, not only for the community, but for golfers as well. Because this town could have lost its golf course. We could never afford to rebuild it and restart it, and we certainly wouldn't get, if we did get another one, we certainly wouldn't get it in a prime position. We have the best positioned golf course in the Riverina. So really congratulations to everyone from the volunteers right through to the council staff that are assisting with greens and finance and everything. Marvellous effort. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. I must, Councillor
No,
Tom.
Mr Mayor, you go first if you want.
You go, Councillor Tom.
Yeah, just a word of caution with respect to risk and the golf club. It is stated here that rising costs of materials and supplies might require the golf club to go into the negative again, especially with the extra 16 cents and all these other tax and fuel costs being put on things. So this might be a honeymoon period. Just keep that in mind.
I take that as a comment. Thank you. Yeah. I'd just like to add my weight to, or my support to some of the remarks from the councillors tonight about the success of the golf club so far. I remember it was more like a baby on the doorstep given to us at the time to make a decision very quickly, which we did. And all the councillors going back to then, and all the people involved and all the volunteers, everybody's working towards the same goal. We've gone through COVID, we've gone through a number of different hurdles, but we had the goal in sight. We've got there, maybe a bit longer than we thought, but we've got there. And we wish them all the best going forward, and hopefully that they're on the way. But thank you very much for that. So we had a discussion, we had a mover and a seconder. So I'll put the motion. All in favour? Aye. Those against? I declare it carried. Thank you very much, everybody. Moving on to 8.3.2, Leeton Local Transport Forum Agenda, Unconfirmed Minutes, 2nd July, page 72. There is a recommendation put forward to us from staff. Is anybody prepared to move that? Move that, Councillor Nardi, Councillor Tynan. That notes the information. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll
Yes,
put them.
Mr Mayor.
Oh, sorry.
Myself and Councillor Kidd.
Okay.
Yep. Do you want to go first?
Councillor Nardi, get your lights on. No? Oh, Councillor Nardi.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd just like to congratulate the committee, because this is some very stiff points in here that definitely need discussion, and I do believe that there are some good discussions coming ahead, and some good community feedback would be heard. So I think that it's a good discussion moving forward on a few things that we may need to discuss in the future for the safety of our Shire streets.
Thank you, Councillor Nardi. Councillor Kidd, you're still scrolling. That's okay. That's okay. Councillor Tiffin, I'll keep an eye on you up there. You're okay? Good. That's all right. All right. Was there a particular point?
It was right at the very end of the piece. And the page numbers might be out of sync. anyway, I can talk to it. The intersection of Stony Point Road. Sorry, my apologies, especially to Councillor Tiffin and those watching on tonight. My question is with regard to the intersection of Stony Point Road and Coonadan Road. There's not a lot of well-documented statistics on accidents at this corner. However, it does pose significant risk, and there is a lot of anecdotal evidence from pretty reliable sources that vehicles regularly run off the road because of the awkward orientation of the T intersection there. There are a number of problems with signage, and we have discussed this for many years. The signage certainly needs an upgrade out there, and the signage we do have is pretty old and losing its reflective values. There's also line marking on the road that needs addressing. Another way of, and it was something that was put forward a number of years ago but never acted on, was one way to identify that as a potential problem, especially on a foggy night, was to install lighting at that intersection. Now, that would be prohibitive, but it would serve as a warning that there was a traffic hazard coming up ahead and would illuminate the signs to a certain degree. Now, I think these days, with advances in solar lighting, I think we probably could install at a relatively low cost solar lighting to alert drivers that there is a potential hazard there and illuminate that intersection to try and prevent these runoffs and drive through the intersections that occur on a regular basis. And I would ask that that message be passed on to the traffic forum, and I'd love to see a reply back on that. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. I have a question myself. Councillor Tiffin, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is this an opportunity to voice concerns like Councillor Kidd just did about road safety issues in general? Just to clarify.
We are talking to the agenda itself, those items on the agenda. So
right.
Is there a particular topic on the agenda in that particular report?
I don't think so. I think I might be a bit lost in the agenda. I have a concern around e-scooters and e-bikes around town, but I don't know if this is the time to talk about that.
No, if you could put it in a report to the General Manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Councillor Matham, sorry.
Happy for you to go first, Mr. Mayor, if you like.
All right. I just got a query with the zebra crossing or the crossing the main street. I just want a clarification. Are they sound like advocating option 2? And option 2 seemed to be a one-way street in Maple Street. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or not. I don't know. That's all. So they're looking into it, I think, aren't they? It's on page 202.
That's my understanding too, Mr. Mayor. There's no decision. The forum doesn't make decisions.
No.
It's the council that makes it's council or the council's delegated person that makes decisions. But at the end of the day, we would never have something like this decision being made without bringing it back to council.
Yeah.
So it's just a proposal at this stage.
Yeah, I can see the plus and minuses. Hopefully there'll be some consultation. Councillor Matham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mine also relates to item 5.7 in the report, the Pine Avenue pedestrian crossing review. Just looking at that and probably having similar queries there as the Mayor, just another, something that we've raised in the past, and I don't know if it's been in the public forum at one of these meetings, but I know it's certainly been when we've met. I've discussed the lights that you can get at the pedestrian crossing. So I'd seen that in parks where it lights up when someone's on it at night. So it's just a sign on the left-hand side of the street. It would be if you're driving down where you can see that someone is stepping on. I do have concerns with the pedestrian crossing, in particular with scooters and e-bikes and all of those things. That is probably a separate matter because they come on with quite a lot of speed and you don't have time to slow down appropriately, whereas when it's a pedestrian on foot, you can usually see them coming. But yeah, it'd be great if we could look at something like that for the evenings, because certainly it is quite dark, and I really had a good look at the one in Parks when I was there and thought it was really a great improvement for road safety.
Good. And Councillor Knightley.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I agree with Councillor Madden. We have had these discussions before, and the one in Parks is apparently working quite well to have this light up sign. I do agree that we've had a bit of discussion about potentially having a raised pedestrian crossing to slow the traffic down and also make it safer for pedestrians to cross. And then on that matter also, it would be something interested. We do have a raised pedestrian crossing in Wade Avenue and it works quite well. In some conversations that I've had with people over time, I do believe that we should look into one in Currajong Avenue and have it somewhere so that the children can safely cross. I do get a lot of feedback about children going down Currajong Avenue and not having a safe area to cross down there as well. And I think if we already have one in Wade Avenue and we only have one in Pine Avenue, one down in Currajong makes sense now. The business houses are quite full down there, and it'd be an idealistic way to travel for them safely across.
All right, we'll take it on.
Thank you.
Take it on board. Councillor Kidd.
Mr Mayor, I might just add for comment there that it is Main Road 80 and we're not the authorising authority for that. So that would have to be in consultation with Roads and Maritime Services. Thank you.
Yes, I do understand that, Councillor Kidd, but as a council, I think safety is foremost important and we are allowed to suggest these options. Thank you.
Yes, and they've got some money as well, see? So we'll use their money for it to do the job. But, all right, so there was an items in that report. I did have a move and a seconder. 2 seconds, General Manager.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I just want to advise councillors, I know it's written in here, but make it abundantly clear. We've moved from a traffic committee to a traffic forum. In many ways, the government has tried to say, you now make your own decisions about things like special event applications where it's on your own roads. They're not really wanting to have much input into that. But we're finding it quite difficult to navigate from going from a committee that brought its recommendations to council. Council then made a decision. If council didn't agree with the committee's decision, it had to go up the chain to Transport for New South Wales. That process has now changed, and they've basically said, we'll have forums, we'll give you our view on things, don't touch any sign that's got any red colour on it. That's entirely for the Transport for New South Wales to be making decisions on. So if there's a stop sign, even on a council road, we have no authority to make decisions on that. However, of course, we can make recommendations. So what I've proposed to the team is that going forwards, we probably should have a workshop twice a year with councillors around road and safety matters that you might be interested in, that you can draw to staff's attention. And then internally, one of the reasons that the recommendation is that I don't think you want to see every Lapped Up Leeton and SunRice Festival traffic plan coming to council. So we'll work under the delegated authority that Transport for New South Wales allows. But I've asked that as General Manager, I'd like to be on the staff committee that's deciding what they've got approval for and what they haven't. And if there's any kind of radar that goes up, that this is a matter that the councillors would want to discuss, we will make sure we'll bring that back to you before staff make any final decision. So we're sort of navigating a strange new process where they've tried to give us more authority, but in some ways it makes it a bit more complicated. But I will make sure that we have a workshop, and rest assured that no decisions will be made on roads becoming one-way roads or anything like that without it coming back to council.
Thank you, General Manager. Councillor Kidd.
Just a question through you to the General Manager. General Manager, in your opinion, does this equate to a cost-shifting exercise? And adding more costs to, more expenses to our budget?
I'm not entirely sure of that yet, so I might just keep my powder dry on that until I know exactly. But certainly we still have to hold all the meetings. But at the end of the day, it's just it's a different process, I suppose. I'll let you know in a few months' time whether it's actually costing us more than previous traffic committees. Yeah.
Thank you. Rest assured that the community will be consulted on all these sort of items and be listened to as well. It's very important. All right. We'll no, we had a move and a seconder. Did
Mr.
had
Mayor,
discussion?
sorry.
Oh, Councillor Nardi.
Are we going to go into item 4.2 just because I've declared my interest for item 4.3 to step out?
No, I'm not too sure if we passed this yet. Just 2 seconds. So we've had a move and a seconder. We have discussion. So we're gonna move the motion now. All in favour? All right. Not yet. Okay. So we start again. Show your hand. All in favour of that motion? Those against? I declare it carried. Thank you very much. And moving on to the community grants, 8.4.1. Councillor Nardi.
It's 4.3 that I need to step up.
Is it? Oh, sorry. All right.
There's 4.2 prior to that.
Right, good. All right, so on item 8.4.1, Community Grant Program, Acquittals. Moved by Councillor Maton, second by Councillor Wright. There is a recommendation in front of us on behalf of the staff. We've moved. And any discussion?
Through you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor
If you
Maton,
don't mind,
followed by Councillor Kidd.
Just a comment, it's really good to read those acquittals and see where that money has been utilised. We see that as part of the grant process, but to see the acquittal and for the grant recipients to tell the story of, what that has enabled them to do, whether that be travelling to Sydney and accommodation. Obviously, it provides opportunity to people in our Shire, both individuals and community groups, noting that there are a couple of overdue acquittals from 24-25. I'm not sure what the process is to chase that up, but it would be great if those that have outstanding acquittals could put something forward, because we put a lot of, we put our money into these grants, our time and effort in reviewing them. So I'm just not sure of the process in ensuring that we get those acquittals.
Gentlemen, did you want to comment on that? About the acquittals? The time frame?
Mr Mayor, if I may,
Right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, good.
I was just going to ask that when the acquittals that haven't come forward yet, haven't been submitted yet, they will be brought forward to council at an appropriate time. Yeah.
General Manager.
Certainly, Mr Mayor. And yes, we bring these acquittals back, I think, on a 6-monthly basis. I think that was the quarterly basis, sorry. So as they come in, they will form part of the next one. We do keep chasing people up, and I think the biggest incentive of all is that they can't apply for any more funding unless the acquittal's been completed. So on that basis, it does give people reason to remember to close the gap. But Michelle's unfortunately sick this evening, but I will ask how frequently we remind people of the fact that they have an acquittal owing.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree with Councillor Maiden. It's great to see the end product, so to speak, it's really great to see. And right at the moment with the Commonwealth Games going on, so it's very relevant, isn't it, right? And I think who was the young fellow who represented us in swimming? Matthew Dunn. Swimming our very own pool down here. So that's good. So thank you. So we had a move in a second there.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I've just had an update from the Manager of Governance, who's become aware that the Roxy Volunteers and Leeton Golf Club have put their acquittals in the last week. So
all right,
we'll come to the next
one.
one.
That? Yeah, that's good. That's great. Right, so we had a move in a second there. We've had some discussion. Any more discussion? I put the motion. Those in favour, say aye. Those against? I declare it carried. Thank you. Moving on to the minutes of the SunRice Festival Committee. August 2025 to June 2026. It's item 8.4.2. And there's a recommendation to have a move in a second there. Page 278, sorry. Yep. Give me time to get there. Councillor Edwards, you're giving the moving it? Yes? Great, thank you. And second by Councillor Morris. Any discussion on that?
Just, Mr. Mayor, again, I'm probably going to say it all night, but thank you to our volunteers who are the backbone of this committee and make it happen every 2 years. It's one of those, I guess, great family occasions for our Shire that people love coming back to their hometown and they know it's on every second Easter and make a big point of it. So again, thank you for the backbone of those people that keep this the momentum going, and it always takes a lot of time and energy and a lot of meetings, and so well done to them all. And please pass, I guess, from council, if you could pass our congratulations on through you, Mr. Mayor, to each of these committees that are coming up now in the next few items as well.
Yes, I will certainly take it on board. I mean, there's a number of different levels. There's the actual committee themselves, mainly young mothers with babies, getting there, which is fantastic. Then there's the sponsors, and then there's the staff members themselves with the bins and the toilets and so forth. It all comes together, and it's really great to see such a community effort coming together. Those long, cold nights, getting together, meetings and making decisions and going on, it's very good. And ultimately, we've got a fantastic festival at the end of it. And we must thank those sponsors as well. So I had to move in a seconder. More discussion? Councillor.
Can I just add something else, Mr. Mayor? I did notice when I read through, obviously, our lack of councillor attendance at these meetings, which was a bit unfortunate. I know it's very hard when you're on committees to try and to get to responsibilities that we all have, but I think there was about 12 meetings, and apart from yourself being part of the committee, I just thought, to wake up to us all that we all need to, we have a lot of good people out there doing the best that they can for our community, and we need to show our support. And I know sometimes we're pulled many ways on many occasions, all on the same evenings, but we really have to try. Or also, we all have alternates for meetings. So, or just if you get caught, put the word out to each other, because these are the kinds of things that are the backbone of our community and keep things humming along. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I certainly concur. If you can't get there, get somebody to go in your place. I'm allowed to go to any of the meetings as a mayor, and I like to go along. That was a pet one of mine last year, but it's very important that all us councillors show our support on this committee, and that's why we get our feedback as well. So thank you very much. So we had a move in a second. We have discussion. Those in favour, I put the motion. Those in favour, say aye. Those against, I declare it's carried. Good. Moving on to the next one, which is page 313, item 8.4.3, minutes of the Light Up Leeton Committee, August to December. There is a recommendation put forward by staff. Anybody want Councillor Wright and Councillor, I think Nadia came just before you. If not, Councillor Edwards. Thank you. All right, so we had a mover and a seconder. Any discussion?
Sorry, Mr Mayor, on this occasion, I think we have to congratulate a councillor who stepped up to the mark there. Councillor Wright in helping with that organisation and bring it to fruition, so well done. I think can I just ask, Mr Mayor, are you president currently? Or the
I
chair?
am.
No,
Yep. Although I wasn't able to make the first meeting, but I was elected president in absentia, which is always the best way to be elected.
That's usually how things
I was
happen.
very happy to be told by text that I was president. But Mr Mayor, when you talk about the long, cold nights, it does help if you meet at the club or a pub where you can get a drink and a nice meal. So maybe the SunRice Festival should learn from the Light Up Leeton Festival. Committee, sorry.
Yeah, I'm thinking about those hall committees, those places, isn't it? But yes, any more discussion in regard to items? I hear that Santa's organising a new suit. I think he was telling me.
Yes, Mr Mayor. Yep, fresh from the Elves Workshop.
Oh, that's very good.
In Shenzhen or something.
Yeah, right. All right, so we're going to move in a second there. We had discussion. I'll put the motion. Those in favour, say aye. Those against, I declare it's carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to the minutes of the Whitton Courthouse. It's on page 332, 8.4.4. Have a mover and seconder. Councillor Wright, Councillor Kidd. Sorry, I think both you guys are on that committee, aren't you? Yeah, good. All right, there's a recommendation in front of us, which Councillor Wright and Councillor Kidd has moved. Any discussion? Councillor Wright.
Only just that the committee is currently waiting for a report, a heritage assessment, and that is going to determine the next steps that we take. So we won't. We've agreed that there's not a lot of point meeting until we get that. So whenever we get that, we can continue our work.
Councillor Nardi.
Thank you. Just an acknowledgement, the council minutes, whoever's typing them up, there's a spelling mistake in all of them that they've we're called the Wiradjuri people, not the Wiradjuri. There's just all of the minutes have all been spelt incorrectly. It can be spelt different ways. I've never seen it spelt that way. That's why I was like, okay, someone's put the wrong letter. Yep, just noted. That's all. Yep, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I've been educated tonight. Thank you very much. That's good. All right, so we had a move in a seconder. We have discussion and. Sorry, Councillor.
Just one thing. We, as Councillor Wright said, we are waiting on a report from our Heritage Advisor and time to chew that over. But I'd also like to congratulate Councillor Wright on the work he's been doing in that regard. It's been most helpful. And to all those on the committee out there, we are looking for a new secretary. So if you're listening, think about putting your hand up. Thank you.
Thanks for Councillor Kidd. The minutes I saw that Councillor Wright had wrote up, they're the ones you wrote up, didn't they?
The previous to this, Mr Mayor.
Very, very professional minutes.
Well, thank you very much.
I was taken back. Well done.
Well, if anyone, I do offer my services for a fee.
You have to declare it, my friend. All right, so we've had a move and a seconder. We've had discussion. I'll put the motion for Whitton. Those in favour, say aye. Those against, I declare it's carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor. There's no notice of motion and no further business to be considered. I now declare the meeting closed at 7:33. And thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, staff. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, gallery. I hope you were educated there with us. Thank you very much.
I omitted, thank you.